This is a young woman's game. So those women at your table, they were not saying that there was no good men. What they were telling you was there were no men in Birmingham that they like, that want them. The men who have worked on themselves and increased their sexual market value, they have options. And all the men are doing now is what you were doing in your 20s. Doesn't that sound like your experience when you were dating and single? This is why a lot of brothers don't feel sorry for those women, because you're just experiencing what we've been experiencing. Welcome.
This is Caesar Walker, the cool, calm, collected one.
And I'm Ronnie Gatry, the emotional one.
And we are the Tipping Point Podcast, your source for the black male's perspective.
Tipping Point Podcast.
I was thinking, man, like there are an abundance of qualified, attractive women out here who seemingly may be going home alone. Okay? What's that look for, Black Creep?
How do you define qualified?
Okay, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
I'm getting to that. Now, our friend, successful career, great mom, credible wife as far as I know, right?
Okay.
So she's very particular about her circle. Her circle is very similar. So, some women may lack the wife title or the mom title.
They're barren.
They're barren. But,
Their finger is barren.
Their ring finger on the left hand is barren. So she's very particular about her circle, and this is one commonality that I've seen in the years that I've known her.
Okay.
Right? So that is how I made the assumption that these women appear or seem to be very qualified. So fast forward. We're at the table, we're eating, and we're sitting across from three single women. And I'm sitting by my wife, like whatever, chopping it up. You gotta make small talk about the food and all that stuff. Finally, I'll never forget this, man. Well, I don't say never, but I can't forget this about that night. The woman sitting in the middle of the three, she just comes out of left field, and she wants to know why there aren't any more good men left in Birmingham. Now, my wife is there, so I can't really go in like I want to, or excuse me, I could. I didn't go in like I wanted to.
Why you couldn't?
Because Walker, you got to see, you got to think, man. Number one, I'm there with my wife, so like the problems y'all are bringing here, I can't really relate to it. Now, my wife may not think I'm a good man. She may jump in and say, "Yeah, girl, there ain't nothing out here." I don't know.
Did she do that?
No.
And you're not out there, so it don't matter.
I don't think your wife can relate to this conversation.
Okay. Well, hey, I don't take it for granted.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I do have the answer. There are good men out here, okay? But that just seemed like an ambush waiting to happen.
In terms of
like me trying to defend us. By us, I mean good black men in Birmingham. Well, we're not single, but and then considering how outnumbered I was by single women there, like I just didn't want that to be a thing because I was prepared to go in.
What would you have said?
I'm
surprised you shied away, man.
Well, you know how you read the room. I'm trying to do better at that. And it's a good night. Like I was in my zone, and my wife was right there. Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
Okay.
Go back to your question.
I was just asking you, why didn't you want to go in? But you said you decided not to go in after she said or asked the question. How did the other woman respond?
So another woman chimes in. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. She's like, yeah. When you do find a good one, you realize he live at home with his mom and he got 2 or 3 kids. And so the same girl who started the question, she said, "Did that happen to you?" And she said, "Oh, absolutely. I just got out of a relationship like that." And so I'm just thinking like, okay, I can't defend all men, and all men have their own situations, but like that one relationship means there's nothing else good out here. But one of y'all asked, what would you have said had I gone in?
Yes.
Okay. I would have come at it from an interrogative standpoint. But my first question would have been, what does a good guy look like? What does a good man in Birmingham look like would have been my question. Now, this question would have been.
Why didn't you ask that?
I don't think Walker,
that
it didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. And maybe I was in my head. And if I was, y'all can let me know. This is a safe space. I'll receive all that. But I just felt like it could have really gone left for me.
I mean, I don't think that's a bad question to ask.
Okay. Well,
You?
No, but I'm thinking he's probably feeling like, hey, when I start down this road, other people gonna start showing up, jumping on the conversation. He's gonna be defending it by himself.
he said it better than I did, but he's exactly right.
They'll be piling on you.
Just by asking the question.
Right. Now, who knows if that would have happened?
Probably would have. I'm not even going to say that it wouldn't have. But I just thought that was a good question.
Okay.
It wasn't like you're defending. You're just asking them, what is it that you're looking for?
Right. But my series of questions, that being the first one, would have led to something I think a lot of our women are losing sight of that we've talked about on this very podcast so many times before. Mm-hmm. Your good man in Birmingham is probably not going to be 6'5", chiseled, doctor, and just sitting there waiting on you. He's probably not going to look like that. But we love to get into the stereotype of how men can be physically attracted and let that lead. But I think if most women are honest, they would have to admit they have the same tendency or same approach as they're searching for their mate. Of course, you do have to be able to look at that person. You do, okay? That's fair. But I think some of the expectations of some of our women out here may be a little too conflated, if you will. I don't know which word I'm trying to use there. But I'm thinking about my relationship with my wife, like before. You know, our situation is different. Like, my wife and I did not start off well. Like, we were enemies, friends, then we dated. It was just a weird thing. But before we even decided to date each other, one of the things she said when describing her ideal man, she wants somebody, like I said before, she wants somebody tall, light-skinned, with wavy, curly hair. Right? Like, there had to have been a look.
2 out of 3.
Yeah.
More like one.
No.
1 out of 3.
Yeah, one.
Just tall.
He was tall.
Yeah, one. So when I think about that and I think about her, I remember vividly us having that conversation because I had disqualified myself at that point. I was like, oh, well, you know, I don't stand a chance with her. But it was never about the man's character with her. So I think about that conversation I had with my wife many years ago. Like, this is a probably 15, 16-year-old conversation. No, longer than that. Probably close to 20-year-old conversation. And so I took that and I applied it to this woman who was having this conversation. I'm thinking, if I were to ask you that question, I'm sure that would be one of the first things to come up, right? How do we feel right now before I continue on?
I think you're good.
Okay.
What was it with that? So your first observation and question was, what does a good man look like?
Yeah.
What was another observation? Or are you ready to move on to the next observation?
Yeah, well, I was going to continue on with some other things that were brought up in said conversation.
Go for it.
So,
because now other women are chiming in at this point.
well, it's just these three.
Just these 3.
It's these 3. Yeah, like I can look down the table. You know, you have people eating and leaning and listening, but no one really contributing to the conversation. So, like, at this point in the convo, we've generated some attention. Okay.
Gotcha.
And again, I haven't said anything. I'm eating off this charcuterie board. It was terrible.
Man, I hope she doesn't listen.
Oh, I would tell her that to her face. Oh, if she hears that, okay. Yeah, your charcuterie board was awful.
Happy birthday.
I'm just not into those. You know what I'm saying? It's mostly pork. I don't eat pork, whatever.
First world problems.
I know, right?
Right. The fact that you said charcuterie board, most people stop listening. But go ahead.
So the third lady who didn't say much, she talked about the places that she visits in efforts to find a good man in Birmingham.
Okay.
So she talked about church. She talked about these there's speed networking events that I didn't even know was a thing. Do y'all know about those?
You sound like speed dating?
Yeah, well, it's different.
Okay.
I didn't put it in the category of dating, but
If speed dating and business networking came together and had a baby, it would be called speed network. Because I asked her to clarify. I said, no, what did you say? She said speed networking. I said, okay, is it like speed dating? And she gave me a similar definition. And that stuck with me because I'd never heard of that before.
okay.
But she mentioned she'd gone to some of those. She went to some clubs that I can't, like, I don't know the club scene, but she was naming them off. And, she was just like, these places are just dried out. There's no good crop of good black men there, right? And so it led to another question or thought I had in my mind. Where do good men hang out? Where do we hang out, Walker? In the podcast studio on a Friday night?
No.
So that one, go ahead.
All these three women, attractive women?
Two of them were.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
To me.
Objectively.
Yeah.
Okay.
There wasn't any babbage. These women were well put together. You could tell they value their appearance.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they look like they're in this age range of 40.
Correct. And if it were single Ronnie, 2 out of 3 of them would have gotten the attention from me.
Okay.
Just to give you a scale on the appearance factor or attractive factor.
Fair. Continue.
Okay, so that led to another question. Okay, well, I don't even know where good black men hang out in Birmingham. Whatever. I'm just whatever. So finally, the girl who started the conversation, she looks over to my wife and she asks, "Where did you and your husband meet?" So my wife says, "Oh, we met at church." And then, my wife loves to talk about how it's not what you think it was. Like, we didn't like each other at first. Like, I think we both wear that as a strange, like, badge of honor. I don't know. But
You're made for each other.
But she starts talking about all that.
How y'all met?
How we met. Yeah, I mean, high level. But she was just like, well, you go to church now, and the same girl, she said, most of the guys are gay, so they're not even into you for that. I'm just like, we are reaching here. But she seemed to be hurt, Walker. Like, she seemed to be like not traumatic.
Dramatic.
No. Dramatic for sure. But she seems to be like a dating trauma victim. Like, she got some baggage.
Like PTSD from dating?
Yeah, PTSD is what I'm looking for. Yeah, but to say when I go to church, all the guys are gay, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, just show us where he hurt you. I shouldn't say that. That's wrong. But anyway, so yeah, we talked about that or whatever. Oh, great. How long y'all been married? Da, 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 da. And then the list goes on. Oh, you got kids. And I could just sense like a low level of envy to a degree. But the way they were like conversing with my wife at this point, it was kind of like hey girl, you've done the unimaginable. It's so like they weren't saying it, but you could tell, the communication or whatever. So, it led to a lot of thoughts, Walker. That was really the
gist of the story.
Yeah. We talked about other things, but that was the part that's pertaining to this topic.
What was another thought you had?
I was really thinking about, like, for my quote unquote good brothers out here, what are we not doing enough of to at least put ourselves in similar spaces to where you can be seen by a woman like this?
Okay.
What are we not doing? And I couldn't get over the thought of, like, where are we hanging out? Like, I drew a huge blank there just because in my life, like, I'm not out like that. So I would never have an answer to that question.
You know a place. You can name of a place. You're not single, so
Costco?
you're not thinking about it. No. Well, maybe.
I mean,
You
there
can
are
meet people anywhere.
a lot of breweries
How
around
about
town.
how about the gym?
Hold on. Say what?
There are a lot of breweries around town.
Okay. Go ahead.
How about the gym? What? That's not where you meet people?
You do meet people at the gym. Walker, come on, man. Gym is off limits. Think about it, Walker.
You see how we looking at you right now?
Think about it.
You see how we're looking at you?
Think about it, guy. Think about it. You find something attractive in the gym, and you gonna go holler at her at the gym.
Creep.
I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to them.
Okay, so here and now this is a true example. This is a true example.
Okay.
There's a woman that I work out with. She's single, highly attractive. She is. So, I mean, I'm not trying to holler at all.
Obviously.
Right. So we've been able to build somewhat of a gym friendship. Yeah. Doesn't leave the gym or whatever. But I remember one morning, there was a dude that came in there, was kind of eyeing her down or whatever. And he approached me and he was like, hey, is that you? I was like, nah, bro, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because we would, what do you call it when you work in with somebody? Like she'd be on the machine and then we just kind of switch back and forth or whatever.
Right.
So I was like, nah, bro, like, in fact, she's single or whatever. He's like, oh, okay, cool, that's what's up. Then he went to try to holler and she felt a way about that.
Huh?
She felt a way about him trying to holler at her, like
At the gym.
So like, I don't know. I have a feeling that it's not a good place.
Because she didn't like him.
Okay. But let me go back to the question because I think I'm getting lost. Let's stay in the context of it. Where can women find good men in Birmingham? Okay. The gym could be a place. Okay. Sorry. I took that and went with it. Okay.
You based on the fact that she rejected a guy.
Correct. One woman.
But she can reject him at church. She can reject him anywhere. True. If she's not attracted to him, that's the obvious consequence. He's getting rejected.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So it's irrelevant where it happened. That's just a place where two people met.
Okay.
And you see attractive women, people working on themselves. Like that's an obvious place to go.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is a gym.
Yeah.
I would encourage most single people, get a gym membership and go.
That second part though.
Right.
That was so shady.
What was another thought you had? What did you have any thoughts about that, Black? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna just ask Gat, how do you think they would have responded? Like you could ask them, like, you said there are no good guys, like, so if I was single, would I be the type of guy you would be attracted to?
I'm not asking that. My wife's sitting right next to me.
That's fair.
Okay. I'm just wondering, like, and I was like, I mean, to try to gauge, like, what is it that they're actually looking for? Like,
was your ring misplaced at the time of this party? Sorry.
now, because I'm just thinking, like, chances are, like, even if you weren't single, if you were single and they didn't know you, would they even still be attracted to you? Are they attracted to you because you're married and they see what you have now? Like, if you were single, they probably be like, no, he's not a good man
They
either.
like the aesthetic. They won't like the aesthetic. Well, you just know.
And it's probably more gats like you. It's like people like you out there right now, but they don't want to like give you a chance.
Do you agree?
This.
How do you think about what he just said?
He's right. He's
Okay.
right. This comes into the primal identity of women,
Okay.
right? Like, you're not attracted to them until someone else has you.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're not willing to invest.
You don't want a man that other
and
women don't
build.
want.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm in that thought for a second.
I can tell.
Yeah, because it's like, what do you really want? What do you really want?
Okay, DMX.
Do you want to just whine about it or do you want to
Be about it.
be about it?
Well, yeah. But I to me, that's why I thought the question is, what does a good man look like? Because it's probably a question very few people have even asked
Right.
them.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think considering the age of these women, or at least the age I perceive them to be, that
What
good
do you
man
mean?
probably doesn't look, like I was saying before, that good man probably doesn't look the way you think he should look.
Okay. Did you have any more thoughts?
No.
We are at the end of your thoughts. is simulating passing me the rock. Black, I have thoughts.
Go ahead.
But
Jump into it.
No. You no. We tag teaming this one. For those of you ladies who are listening, I think I've come a long way in my delivery. I think I have. I've been working on it. If you've been staying with us in this podcast.
But it's how you say it.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning alert. This may get triggering, okay? I have no dog in this fight. I have a wife and I'm a girl dad. I already have 2 women who have captivated my heart. What you do with this is of no consequence to me. Before I give my thoughts, Black, is this a good time to share with Gatry what the wall is?
Yeah.
He just lit up like a Christmas tree. Is this a good time to share with him what the wall is?
Go ahead.
No. I want you to talk about it. What's your understanding?
Hold on. You got the rock. You know what to do.
Oh. Now he could go out of bounds because he won't catch it. Right.
Now it's out of bounds.
It's like
What's your understanding of the wall?
So women who tend to put their careers and everything first, and they get to a certain age where it's like, okay, I put everything else, like my career and all that stuff first. I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to have kids. I wanted to pursue my goals and like put it all to the side. So now I'm like 39, 40, and I'm looking around. It's like, okay, I don't have the same options that I had when I was like in my 20s as far as like men.
They don't say it like that. They're just saying there's no good men.
Even though they were good men trying to talk to them all along, their focus wasn't on dating and relationships. It was on their careers and things like that. So they get to a point where, okay, like I don't know if you said it before, like the biological clock is ticking and they have a narrow window, and the men that are available to them are not the men that they want. And the men that are available are looking for women that are not in that age range. Like when men get to that age around the 40s and 50s, that's when they hit their stride. It's like they're at peak. And like when they're at their peak, they have more options. And those options aren't the women that are they have options for women their age, but they can shop lower if they want to.
What do you think about that?
I think there's a lot of
Would you like to pass me the rock back? Are you done? Okay. I got it.
Chest pass.
What do you
I'm in the corner. I'm in the corner.
Spot up.
What do you think, Robert Ory?
I was going Bruce Bowen, but I'll take Robert.
That's fine.
I think there's a lot of truth in that. I even think, but the one thing I challenge is I do believe these wall women, if I can say that. I do believe in their younger years, they may have been interested in dating. But
Oh, for sure.
they were not necessarily interested in a good guy at the time.
Maybe. Right.
Okay.
I'll accept that.
And like, just think about it. Like,
I'll accept that.
At that time, when you're a 26-year-old guy, like, what have you achieved? What do you have to show that can attract a woman? But go ahead.
Yeah. So everything else, bullseye. That's the only micro challenge I would have in that description.
Okay. There are a few things going on at once with this scenario of women approaching their 40s, late 30s, even in their 40s, who are still single. To Black's point, and I'll shed light on it, but we've talked about this in the past. I talked about the term or the word hypergamy. Remember that term? And that is the tendency of a woman to date on their social or status level and above. In other words, it's someone that you look at and you can't help but to respect or look up to. He's either older, he's taller, he's stronger, makes more money, has higher social status, larger network. He is essentially either at the very least your equal. And there's security associated with women who looks to that guy, right? However, and I've quoted this YouTube page, there's another thing going on in women, and women are now able to have a career, get resources. One of the things that Psychax, I've mentioned him, his page, he defined, I was listening to him and he defined relationships in a way that it makes so much logical sense, but people don't look at it like this. When you think of a relationship, it can be any kind of relationship. How would you define a relationship? Go. Your sons ask you, hey, what's a relationship?
Two people have some level of interest in each other. It could be friendship, it could be romantic, it could be both. Right.
Okay.
But they are making an investment. Each of them are making an investment into building whatever that common interest is.
Okay.
That's my best way of putting it.
Okay. Not bad. How would you define a relationship?
Most of what he said, like
That's what we said?
shared interest between two parties.
Okay. Good definition. Not wrong. How he defined it is a relationship is a medium for which value is transacted between the two.
I like that.
Relationships are a medium for which value is transacted. Okay?
Okay.
Let's work with that definition. Very simple, straight to the point. If women value, let's talk about what we value. If we're going to talk about transacting value here. One of the things that women value, let me know if you agree with this, but they value a man's resources. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Traditionally, yes.
They value they still, even modern women value his resources, even if they want you to think they don't. They value a man's resources. Well, when we look at women today, Gat, women are killing it in terms of being educated. They're the most enrolled, most degreed, right?
Yeah.
They get their access to white collar jobs. They're making way more money than they ever had, starting their own businesses, making money. The women you saw at that table, professional women, right? These women have access to resources. So what happens when I'm able to obtain value apart from the medium that I would normally traditionally would depend on receiving that value from? There's a tendency to not prioritize that medium or pursue it. A classic example of this is if you had 10 people on your job, and let's say over the weekend we snapped our fingers and those 10 people became multi-millionaires. Not a millionaire, multi-millionaires. They have millions. They got it legally. Even after taxes, they're multi-millionaires. How many of those 10 people would still show back up to work, focused, on time, ready to work, ready to take on whatever stress, assignments, deadlines, whatever, people, whatever? They would continue to work as if they were not millionaires. How many of those 10 people would you say?
Not one.
Because they obtain the very thing that they're working for apart from the job, which means showing up at that job isn't as important to them anymore as it once was. I'm not saying that men aren't important or relationships aren't important to women, but if women are able to take trips, go to brunch with their girls on weekends, They're able to buy their own car, buy their own home, buy their own bag, buy their own shoes. They're able to do that now. And they're doing it apart from a traditional relationship where you're depending on his resources. This is where a lot of women say, I don't need a man. I don't need him because I now have the resources. Obviously, you're dating him for more than that.
Right.
Another thing that we need to keep in mind here is that, and we'll talk about this, is for a lot of women, they're getting a lot of attention in their 20s and their prime years from all sorts of men, the men they don't want and the men they do want. So if I'm getting money and I'm in my career and I'm focused on my career and I'm getting a lot of attention from men, I'll date who I like and who looks good and who makes me feel something. But there's a tendency to think or to be lulled into this belief that because I'm getting attention from men, talking about my attractive sisters, because I'm getting attention from men, men will always be there. It's kind of like that NBA player. You know how they put them through that program where they teach them about money because you're getting
Rookie symposium.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're getting like hundreds of thousands of dollars deposited into your account every 2 weeks. And if you're not careful, you'll get lulled into thinking that I'm going to be getting this money forever. So the symposium is designed to say, hey, you need to be financially responsible and not take this for granted the moment you're in. Because if you take it for granted and you act like that money is going to always be there, you're going to waste this opportunity. You're going to blow your money. And once that window closes, you have nothing to show for it. Right? What I'm saying is, when he's talking about the wall, what he's saying is, for a lot of women, they don't realize, and we'll talk about this. I'm gonna break it down to you guys. A woman's peak is actually not in her late 30s. It's younger on the sexual market value.
Oh, well, yeah.
Therefore, if she's used to all this attention she's getting, she wants a relationship, she wants marriage, but I want this bag. I want this bag. I want this lifestyle, and I'm getting money now. I'm on my career path now. I want to be married. But I'm focusing on this now. I'll date some guys if it happens, if it works out. Okay, I'm gonna have fun with these options I got.
Pass the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have fun with these options.
Right.
I'm gonna shoot for the stars. Right. So if she is prioritizing career and she always knows that for some reason I'm gonna always have this attention, then she gets to 30s, mid-30s. And it's not necessarily that her biological clock is ticking, because women, there's a certain point in the month where she's ovulating. That's the biological clock.
Right.
What it is FOMO, because she's now towards the end of her fertility window.
You are taking it here, Walker.
I'm just talking biology at this point. She's realizing that I've been having a good time. I still want this cookie cutter lifestyle where I have a husband, children, white picket fence, living on a nice side of town with a dog. I still want that. I don't want to miss out on the opportunity of that. But I realize my window that I thought I had plenty of time for is closing on me. And what women are realizing is the same thing that an athlete later on in their career realizes. I may still be able to compete, but not like I used to. Because when we look at an outlier like LeBron James, it's amazing to see him compete at almost 40. But LeBron ain't playing defense the way he used to. LeBron ain't even competing all 82 games. LeBron starts turning it on somewhere in March, April. It's called load management, right? I think that's the new term for it.
It is.
Old LeBron played 82 games straight. Hard. Playing defense, both sides of the ball, both sides of the court, offense and defense, giving it all. This new LeBron can still get you 20, still get you 30.
Yeah, I'm about to say, he gonna get you 30 too.
He'll get you 30. Yeah. No, he started giving you 30 in March, April.
Right.
Playoff Bron, right? But he knows I can't compete like the Ja Morants and the younger kids. I can't do that. I gotta pace myself. Even though he's competing, he can't compete like they compete because that is a young man's sport. And for women, unfortunately, this is a young woman's game. Because even though you're approaching your 30s and 40s, you're still hypergamous. So as you're going up, you're still looking up, which means there's less men that you can look up to. So those women at your table, they were not saying that there was no good men. What they were telling you was there were no men in Birmingham that they like, that want them.
That last part.
That last part, goodness, Walker.
Because, to Black's point, the men who have worked on themselves and increased their sexual market value, they have options. And all the men are doing now is what you were doing in your 20s. Welcome to being a man, ladies. Welcome to being a man. I said this was a trigger warning. Welcome to being a man, because don't y'all know how it feels to be making some money and women looking all over and around, don't even see you, you invincible? Doesn't that sound like your experience when you were dating and single? Doesn't that sound like what you went through? This is why a lot of brothers don't feel sorry for those women, because you're just experiencing what we've been experiencing. Welcome. Welcome. It's not like I take pride in it, but it
is what it is.
It is the window is closed, sweetheart.
Wow.
The window is closed and you're still looking for the same caliber of men that you were attracting when you were in your prime. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Just made me think about Kanye. We say, wait till I get my money right. There's several things happening with those women. Their window is closing and they're scrambling to get in where they're fit in, but the men that they want to fit in with, they're checking out the newer models.
Oh my gosh, Walker. You are disrespectful.
No, I'm not.
I don't hear you disagreeing, Gab.
Well, that's a different conversation.
You want to know why? You want to know why they checking out? You want to ask me why?
Yeah, why?
These women right here, these are women who need an answer now. These are the ultimatum women. These are the women who, I don't want to waste my time. Are you in or you out? And I'm just trying to get to know you. I'm not in a rush because men can generate millions of sperm a day. We're not losing eggs. We don't have no clock. There's no rush for us. I'm just trying to test drive this. I'm trying to have some fun. I'm trying to be you in your 20s. Why you mean I worked this hard to get here and now I gotta give it all away for you who ignored me for years?
You know how much test drive options you got now? We got EVs now, not just gas.
I knew somebody was gonna bring up EV. I knew it was coming.
I was gonna let it be you.
So so men can sense the pressure with these women when they're dating them. They can feel pressure from these women because it's FOMO with it. They got, hey, my window's closing. What are we? Are we together? Where's this going? I thought we were just going to dinner, babe. Like, what?
Ain't got time for dinner.
And men don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with that because they want you to. I got deadlines at work. You know, that purpose and that dream, that business. I got deadlines there. I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to take.
So far, but this is insert man here. This is insert man here.
Yeah. Hurry up. What are we? Men don't want to feel like, men don't want to be I'm
not
rushed.
fair to us.
I'm rushed on the job. And this is what, and my thing to men is this. If you're not ready, don't do it.
But I'm ready for you to meet my family and everything.
If you're not ready, don't do it. Because here's the thing. You're the one offering the job because you're the one buying the ring. You're the one getting on one knee. You're the one initiating the date. You're the one being charming and all this. You're the one doing that. You control who gets hired. Right?
Right.
So if you're not ready, don't do it. Don't do it. This is why guys avoid this age range right here. That's why Kevin Samuels called it the danger zone.
Danger.
Actually, it's less than that. It's when you hit 30. But again, she has a window of time. If she hasn't come to terms with the fact that she may miss out, she is in panic mode. So she's always like, why are men emotionally unavailable? Why are men this? Why are men? Because you got a deadline and he's not respecting the deadline. And neither should he. That's not his responsibility. He had nothing to do with you wasting time in your 20s. And he shouldn't have to be forced to make up that difference if he's not ready. Now, if he's ready, that's different. Congratulations. But if he's not, tell you another thing, reason why men avoid that. I think you may have said it, or you may have said it. Baggage. Because you've been out here playing, you've been out here dating. I guarantee you that woman who was dealing with the dude stay home with his mom, she was having sex with him.
Oh, wow.
You disagree?
I don't, but I mean, we just, okay.
Trigger warning.
He said it. That's true. That's true.
I bet she was sleeping with him when mama wasn't there.
Stop. They were going to her place.
Okay, fine.
On, give my guy some credit.
Let me get my bars off.
I don't know, dude, but I will to bet he's sensible enough to do that dirt at her place. But anyway, go ahead.
You don't know that. You don't know him. You don't know what arrangement they had.
On a twin bed.
For what?
They got baggage.
For what?
For what? What do you mean?
Why would she even want to sleep with a guy like that?
I don't know, but she felt the need to tell all of y'all at the table who she was dealing with.
I bet you she was physically attracted.
You don't
to
do
him.
that with someone who you just passing by and ignoring.
She was probably physically attracted to him.
I think he, yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we know someone that would give someone a chance just based because they looked really good, even though they know it wasn't a good thing.
All three of us do. So that's another issue. It's less baggage. Also, that woman is less malleable at this point. This woman has been the CEO of her life, her entire adult life. She's been calling the shots. She's been calling her own shots. And if you look at her results from a professional life standpoint, been doing a pretty darn good job at calling her own shots. Why should I listen to you? I'm smart. I may be smarter than you. You think I get challenged on my job all the time? I get challenged building this business all the time. You think I want to come home and be challenged by you? Mm. When I'm seeking peace? I'm looking for you to be my helpmate, which means you're cooperating with me. You on my program. But when you listen to a lot of women, they want a man to come home and support them. So I have to take off my issues at work and take on your issues as if I have that much bandwidth. You see why this age range is what men are doing? Because see, here's the thing. Women will say, I still got men approaching me. I still got men taking me on a dates. Oh yeah, they'll go out with you. Absolutely.
And test drive.
Absolutely. You're getting attention, but that's not your goal. Your goal
they want more than
is
that.
retention.
Right. Ooh.
When you get him, can you keep him? There are women who can get a job, but they are losing them jobs. They're losing them. Lala Anthony.
When you're younger, you want to date older guys. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying when you get older, you want to date younger guys, but when you get older, only younger guys want to date you. It's the wildest thing. Literally, guys will DM me or want to take me out, and I'll Google them. I'll be like, you're 22 years old. Like, how? Like, how does this work? But like, so confident, so like, I want to take you out. I think you're amazing. And I'm just like, what's the cutoff? Like, I don't know the cutoff. I'm just saying, what is the cutoff?
No, it's a real thing.
Lala Anthony is attractive.
No question.
Objectively attractive. Would you agree, Black?
Absolutely.
She has approached 40 and cannot, and nothing but younger dudes are talking to her. Nothing but younger dudes. Mind you, this woman got money. She's successful. But throughout her 20s, and she was married, I give her credit, but she married a baller. She was marrying someone that she looked up to. Now she's 40, and the men that she have gotten accustomed to are looking at the younger her. Ooh. It's the young guys who's shooting their shot at her. And I hate to say it like this. She's practiced for them. She's practiced. Because at the end of the day, if he settles down, he's going to be with someone around his age or younger.
Oh, wow.
This is a good time.
Wait. It's practice for the young dudes?
Practice for the young dudes.
Trying to holler at the 40-year-old Lala.
What do you got to lose?
I mean, just think about
what do you got to lose?
So that's why her DMs are blowing up.
Mm-hmm. She's still attractive. But for all the reasons I mentioned why older men stay away from her, what does that leave you with? Younger dudes.
with nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
All right. Lala don't want me.
That's a flex. That's a flex to my homeboys.
True. Wow.
It's funny. You think about Amber Rose. At her peak, she had Kanye West. And she has steadily been going down with her mates as time progressed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. See it all the time. All the time. So, another woman I showed y'all, her name is Crystal Hazlett, I think. She is on Tyler Perry's show on BET Sisters. I think she got a spinoff show as well. Y'all saw what she looked like.
Attractive.
Objectively attractive. You hating if you don't think she attractive. She looks good.
Yes.
When you're dating in your 40s, there's so many factors that come into place. Your biological clock is ticking. Society has put so much stress on, you need to get married by this age, you need to start having children by this age. And my acting career got started very late, and what I thought was late, but then I realized some of the greatest artists there are started in their 40s. So I'm actually not as insecure about that as I was before, but I was worried about that. My biological clock is ticking. I found myself attracting like 20-year-olds. And I was like, what is this? 'Cause I know I don't look 40. That was the first thing. I don't look like how old I am, but I was attracting young people. And with that, it became a stress because I knew they wanted children. I'm like, okay, these are conversations we have to have. And I always wanted to date somebody that's either my age or a little older. And honestly, they'd already had children because I didn't want that pressure. I don't want the pressure of, okay, if he wants children, I can't give him that. Like, what if I passed that stage in my life?
She said the exact, these women are gorgeous, high profile. If they experiencing this, what you think other women dealing with? And is it because there are no men? Are there no men? Or there are no men that you want that want you?
That last part again.
Seriously. So, in your opinion, what's the remedy?
What's the remedy?
Yeah. What do you tell that 40-year-old woman in this situation?
Lower your standards.
Good luck. I don't know what to tell an older woman. That sounds morbid as all get. I
really
said trigger warning. I said trigger warning.
I thought the trigger warning had expired by now.
No, everything after that was a trigger warning.
You're loading the clip.
I have nothing left once I'm done. I'm still shooting. Good luck. Because isn't that what I'm not willing to settle means? Who says that, men or women? I'm not willing to settle.
It's usually women that say that.
What is she saying? I will continue to be hypergamous until I find the man, this dream man, to complete my dream world. I don't care how old. And I don't
either taken already or he's at the lot looking at the new models. Is that not saddening to y'all just to a degree?
No, it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, but you have to remember what society has done with our women. They've told them to be independent. They've told them you don't need a man. They've told them all of this stuff. And you're not working. My advice I have something for younger women. My advice for younger women is the woman that you want to be in your 30s, spend your 20s becoming her. If you want to be a wife and be married, spend your 20s becoming a wife. And I would advise you to prioritize being a wife first because you can always make money.
That is a fact.
You can't always make babies. And given that there's a wall out there, you can't always get the man you want. I would advise you prioritize that because clearly you have a shorter window here than you do to get money and get the bag. The bag will always be there. That husband though, because men like you and I, we in our prime, but we were gone by 30.
Gee whiz.
We were off the market. We gone. I've never made this much money in my life.
Same.
Off the market, baby.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, let's be rational here. It's not all about money.
What do women value again? Black?
Resources.
Okay.
Oh, you with us?
You with us? You here? I know it's not all about money, but what is being prioritized?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. That's why I would tell men, that guy who's at his mom's house, I would tell him, if you're not willing to work on you, good luck. I don't have no miracle pill to just hand you and you get all the things you want. You got to go get it.
But you're what you're conveying is there's little to no hope
if you don't change your mindset.
Now tell me what that looks like.
Fair. What I would tell women is this. First, you're going to have to deal with the fact that you wasted time.
You mean accountability?
Before you do anything else, you're gonna have to look yourself in the mirror and realize you've been hustling backwards.
Stop.
You asked him.
I did ask him.
You've been hustling backwards. So you also have to realize that you've been lied to. You can't have everything. That's not how life works. That's not how life works. Gad, I want to be fit and in shape. I can't eat what I want.
Right.
I can't eat what I want. I can't lay in bed in the morning. I got to get up and work out.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I don't feel like going to work. I can stay in the bed. There's a consequence to that, right? Or I can go to work. But you know what I can't do if I get up and go to work? Stay in the bed. Like, I can't. This is a consequence of that. So if I want this, I have to understand that I'm going to lose something over here. That's why I've pushed against, and you thought I was being just Walker, but I pushed against the idea of a power couple because that is women having everything. I got everything. I got the degrees. I got the career. I got this. Clearly, this man doesn't live with his mom. He has his own stuff. He has his own home. He has his own businesses. We take trips. We live this amazing life. And realistically, we know that man ain't even looking at her like that. Except for to have sex with. He wants you to be part of his kingdom. Mm. That dude that you want as a compliment, there are a lot of women are finding it difficult to get that man. That's why I'm saying you're going to have to be very realistic about the life that you can get. In the same way that you got to be realistic about the career you want. Okay, I can't go to school for engineering if I want to be a doctor.
You could.
How probable is it?
It's not that probable.
How probable?
You're going to have a hard road.
Thank you.
To track.
So what's the better approach?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. My point is you're going to have to realistically determine what type of life you want. And you got to be very honest with yourself because that guy who would make y'all a power couple, he works a lot. He didn't hit the lottery. He didn't, you know, he wasn't born into money. He had to go get it. and he's still getting it. So if your love language is quality time, he ain't for you. He doesn't have quality time to give you. He's not going to be at your children's dance recitals. He's not going to be at your son's football practice. He's not. That's your job. You pick him up. I'm making money. I'm working. I'm busy. I'll make time for you when we have our biannual or annual excursion trip as a family. But I'm out here hustling, getting it. That dude who's an executive, that dude who's a surgeon, that dude who's way at the top of the social economic ladder, who's in the 1%, he ain't got that type of time.
Right.
The dude who has time for you may be a teacher.
Which is fine.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm not, but see, it's not sexy though. That's not, he's a coach.
Hey.
No. I'm not knocking these.
That win games.
Hilarious. But what I'm saying is you want this man to be all things. Even Crystal. Crystal was nothing but red flags. Again, objectively. Do your Googles, man. Objectively attractive. I listened to her podcast or the video. Heard nothing but red flags because she was saying, I don't need a man. I want a man. I need you to feed me. I need you to be intelligent. I need you to have great conversation. I need you to have all of this. I need you to have those other intangibles. I'm beyond money.
She sound like a dude.
But when asked about what size ring she wanted, at least an 8-carat diamond.
Oh my gosh.
You know how much a diamond costs?
Right.
A carat? Oh, so he does have to have money. Oh, so you want him to be Superman and Clark Kent.
I see what
I get it. You 40 and still dating? And you want all of that? No, you're going to be the man in your relationship. That was nothing but red flags going off in that. She is dating, and that woman, you thought Lala dated ball was with. Crystal's had some ballers. She's been linked to Kevin Durant.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she's had fun. She's had a lot of fun. Trust me. She's had options. What you're hearing that woman is you're hearing her options shrinking. And apart from some mental adjustment, she's trying to figure out where they at. Where are they? So my advice to women, I'm done emptying clips.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm done. I think. My advice is you're going to have to be very pragmatic about what life you want at this point. Just like you have to be very pragmatic about losing weight, pragmatic about starting a new career. You got to be realistic about it. Okay, you want to start that business. What do you know about that industry? Have you researched that industry? Okay, you can't come off your job immediately. Okay, you may not make what you saw someone on Instagram make. You got to be realistic about, you got to look at everything if this is the new endeavor, okay? You're going to have to look at your diet. You're going to have to look at your schedule. You're going to have to clear out time in your schedule. You're going to have to determine if you're going to meal prep, get someone to do it. You got to practically look at everything in your life and ask yourself some tough questions. And then go back to the outcome and ask, do you really want that? What are you willing to do to get to that outcome? What are you willing to do? And is that even what you want? Are you trying to impress your friends? Why do you want that? One of the things I thought Kevin Samuels was masterful about. Kevin Samuels never asked women, do you want a high value man? Never asked her that. Women would say, I just want a good man. Kevin would say, all right, what do you want? That's how every conversation starts. Most people don't know that, who don't watch. What do you want? I want to be married. Okay. How many children do you want? 2 or 3. Pick one. And if they don't have kids, about 3. Okay. How much of the financial load and burden do you want to be responsible for a lifetime? 10, how much? No wrong answer. How much do you want to be? In other words, if you don't take care of it, the household suffers. I will hear no more than 30%. Anywhere from 0% to 30%. They want to be financially, and that's on the high end. Most of it is 10, 15.
Yeah.
I still want to work. How much do you want to be responsible for? You have to pay it yourself. About 10, 5. Okay. Do you want the children to go, you want to be able to have money set aside for them to go to college? Oh, yeah. Okay. 3 children. All 3 of them going to college. Yeah. Okay. Do y'all plan on taking trips throughout the year? Domestic? International? Oh, yeah. We'll still take trips. Where do you live? Buckhead?
Public or private school?
Public? Private? Private. Okay. A man who's going to be more financially responsible for the majority of that, at least 70% of it, he'd have to make north of $300,000 living in 500,000 living in LA.
Right.
350 in Atlanta. Because these are major cities these women are calling in.
Yeah.
Okay. What profession makes $350,000 a year?
Medical.
And you don't want a high value man. He's saying you're not even doing the math, sweetheart. Your math ain't mathing. You're telling me what you want. You're telling me what you're attracted to, but you're not doing the math. And that's just what it costs. Do you even qualify? That's where people get upset when he start asking dress size. On a scale of 1 to 10. You can't use
7.
fresh out the shower.
No makeup.
How would you rate yourself? No makeup. Now let's see if you qualify. Let's see if you even qualify for this. Because usually what sparks that question, those lines of questions is, I'm not going to settle for nothing less than that. So in other words, you look down on men not making $350,000 a year.
Right.
You see how ridiculous that sounds?
That does sound bad because you're talking about the majority of men. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you don't look like Lala.
Right.
You don't look like Crystal talking like that. They struggling to get that. Excuse you? That's why he went off on that woman. That woman in that Average at Best video said, I'm finding that I'm having a tough time. No one points this out. I'm finding that I'm having a tough time respecting men who make less than me.
Listen to yourself.
And she was an entrepreneur.
That's how that conversation got to that point. He just held up a mirror to her. And you think?
She had a kid too, didn't she?
Yeah. Because I said relationships, based on psychacs, relationships are a medium for which value exchange. Do you know what men value? What do we value? I encourage men to go look at a website called powermoves.com. They talk about SMV. I don't have time to go over it for the sake of time. But one of the things he talks about what men value for long term, because he breaks it down into short term and long term. Obviously, men value looks.
Yeah.
That's the majority of it for short term.
Yeah.
Got to look good. But when it comes to long term, it evens out a little bit. But over 50% of it is looks and age. Over 50% of what men value long term, looks and age. So if you're getting older, and by the way, there's a lot of he references a lot of articles, research, a lot of stuff at the bottom of that page that he talks about this. So he's not throwing out numbers arbitrarily.
Right.
There's a lot of sources at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
But men value looks and age because age implies fertility. Men get married for children. Because that's the safest way a man can have children and be protected. That's really the benefit of marriage to men, is having your legacy come through that institution.
100%.
So if you 40, baby, what can I? Huh?
That is sad.
That's why I said good luck. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I know what to tell younger women. I was talking to a woman. She was saying she was going to tell her daughters to get their career and look for a husband later because it was based on divorce and women get married to men. Women get, divorced and now they struggling and it's based on fear. But what if she ends up like a great majority of women who have a career, but no man to divorce you?
Gosh.
FOMO is the end result. You're scrambling. And now you're desperate. Depending on how serious you are about family and children. My advice to women is you should prioritize those things first, as well as prioritize the man who can help you get that.
You can have both, right?
You can.
Okay.
You can. It's possible. It's possible. Now, what I would say to that is, again, there's still some trade-offs with that. Because, again, you can't have it all.
Right.
So there's going to have to be some negotiations. Remember, that's what dating is for.
Yeah.
This whole conversation about what do you bring to the table, it's the negotiation table. What value, we're transacting value here. What is your value? Here is my value. What is your value?
Right.
Is this what I want? Is this something that I want long term? Is this something that I want at all? Right? That has to be that these are things that you need to be asking yourself when you're dating.
Right.
What value does this person bring, and this is what I want? And for these women, what value do you bring to that man?
You got to bring something too.
That he appreciates.
It's a relationship. You got to bring something.
That he values.
Right.
You want to know what resources was for women? I think for men, I think it was less than 5% or something like that.
Oh, really?
I'm pulling it up right here. I'll show y'all. Yeah. So for long term, men value 3% of her resources. That's how much it factors into what a man values. So stop leading with you independent. We don't care.
Right.
Not the man you want.
Right.
He don't care.
The man you say you want. Yeah.
He don't care. Because when we start asking questions, you don't want to pay for nothing. He's the provider, right?
Right.
So stop talking about you. That's great. You're a responsible adult. That's awesome. I'm not saying don't be a responsible adult. I'm just saying when it comes to the negotiation table of value, We don't value that. Are you attractive? Are you malleable? Are you teachable? Can you help me? Can you cooperate with me? Or do you think you're smarter than me? You think you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's tough. Talking to women like this, can't tell them nothing.
True.
They've lived. What's your thoughts, man? I said a lot. What do you think?
No, I mean, I've asked my questions. So my questions are based on my thoughts. So I just kind of feel for women in that category. I really do.
I do too.
It's sad.
I do too. But I've been saying it for years. Women have been lied to.
Yeah.
They've been lied to. And it's okay to and again, it sounds misogynistic when you start suggesting that women prioritize a man.
Yeah, but it's not what you think. It's not what you think. Or at least that's not how I took it. And maybe it's easy for me to say that because I am a man.
Here's what's so crazy about it. You're prioritizing him now at the end when it's too late for some of y'all. You gonna prioritize him now or you gonna prioritize him later when it's more difficult? But you're gonna prioritize him.
At some point.
At some point. You can do what you want to do. I'm going home and going to my wife and daughter.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You gotta stop, Walker.
Hey, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. I didn't make you. I had nothing to do with this. I'm just a messenger.
Right.
I'm just a messenger. I know it's triggering. And yes, I know that there are men who play games. Let's talk about that. I know that there are men who play games. I know that there are men who out there, but see, when LP was here a few weeks ago, I said, you don't date for validation. You date to vet. You date to determine if this is a good fit. You don't prioritize how much he makes you feel good or the vibes.
Right.
Is he a fit? How is he when he has some pressure on him? How is he when he's angry? Are you paying attention or are you just going along with how he makes you feel?
Right.
Because we can talk about those men, but if we be honest, do you even know how to date, sis? Do you know what you're doing? Because you can get mad. You can throw him under the bus. He lived with his mama, but you chose him. Take accountability for the fact that you knew he lived with his mom and you still laid down with him. You still let him in your house. Do you know what you're doing in the dating field? Do you know how to date? Do you know how to walk away from a fine man, from the vibes? Do you know how to walk away? Do you? Let's talk about that. Yeah, we know men, there are men out there who don't have their stuff together. Agreed. But why are you fooling with them? And it shouldn't have taken you years or however long it took y'all to figure out he wasn't about nothing. Right. You knew that on date 2. I'm yelling. I'm sorry. I apologize. I said I was working on my delivery. I'm sorry.
Way to go, Gad.
But am I wrong?
No. I've never heard it put like this, but yeah.
I had to take accountability for the women I dated. I dated a woman who was crazy. At the end of that relationship, I had to ask myself, I knew she was crazy. Why did I allow this relationship to go this long? What is it about me? What was it about? I'm just going to talk about me. Let's just make it more relatable. What is wrong with me, Walker, to where I dated this girl for a year and I watched a ton of crazy take place and I didn't walk away? There's a problem here. And until I figure that out, I'm not dating. I'm going to sit with myself. Therapy wasn't really pushed then. I definitely would have taken myself to therapy. Right. But I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And I'm going to learn how to properly vet. I'm going to learn how to walk away when it doesn't feel right. I'm going to learn how to say, hey, let's just be cool. Let's be acquaintances. Let's keep it pushing. I'm going to be better. I'm not going to repeat this mistake. I can blame it on her, but I chose her. I had to own that. What are you willing to own? And what are you willing to no longer repeat? I do. I mean, you talk to me. Like, what? Do you disagree? You agree?
No.
Hibachi.
Crazy. She was crazy.
Bro.
Slap crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to sit with myself. So I would never, if I was going to be honest and full of integrity, I would never misrepresent that person I dated without telling you the fact that I dated that person for a whole year and she was crazy.
Oh God.
Shouldn't you have questions for me after that? You knew she was crazy for how long? I can't even get that story off right.
Right.
Without you saying, wait, this don't make sense. You did do the right thing by staying out of that conversation. You did do the right thing. Me, though?
You different.
You different.
You different, bro.
Me?
You different.
Cause see, they was rallying each other. They was talking about how tough it is. But see, when you start talking about what you doing, the choices you making,
That's the right. We're gonna talk about those too. Yeah.
they don't want to talk about that.
Right.
They don't want to talk about that.
Well, maybe if they're willing to offer some of that.
At that table, those women were looking for validation. It is tough, girl. And so it's no men in Birmingham. So you're going to leave and go to Atlanta. You're going to leave to go to Houston. You're going to leave to go to Nashville, Charlotte.
Charlotte's much better. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the solution, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your 40-year-old self to a city where there's more younger women that you still got to compete with. You still got to compete.
Well, let's be rational here. There's also more men.
And what are they looking for? What are they looking at?
The hot women are already there.
You can't change the calculus because you relocate.
True. That was my one. I'm just trying to, get a lady something.
Give it to them. Whatever it is. It doesn't change the math.
Right.
That's why moving to a larger city doesn't really...
What's the term? Per capita?
Yeah. It doesn't really fix the problem because these men are glazed. Could you imagine living in Atlanta?
Oh, God.
Making good money? Your penis gonna fall off. You gonna lose your mind in Atlanta.
Right.
And they still haven't solved the problem, which is themselves. They're just taking themselves to another city.
Right.
Why would you settle down in a city like that full of women who are hot and horny? Why would you settle down?
We talking about Atlanta? Okay.
Still need you here on this pod. Okay. I'm being selfish right now. But you see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't... Okay, move. Good luck. It's still good luck.
Yeah.
There are more women in that city just like you that you got to compete with.
Right.
The calculus don't change. The problem is still there. And then you're going to be in Atlanta saying, say it. Where
Oh,
are...
where are the good men in Atlanta?
Because I hear that from women in Atlanta.
I think they're louder in Atlanta. They yell it from the rooftops in Atlanta.
You guys got anything else?
Look what you started, Gat.
Send all your hate mail to THA Tipping Point. DM us. I just tell me. Just let me know how you feel. Okay, just let me know how you feel. I get asked. I answered. Okay, we can talk about Jesus next episode.
Oh, I can't wait.
And how good he is. Okay. Thanks again for tuning in, y'all. You already know what to do at the THA Tipping Point, one word, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And as always, I'm Caesar Walker. He's Ronnie Gatry. He's Black. We got the Tipping Point Podcast. Thanks again for supporting.
Tipping Point Podcast.